So then we've got the whole map revealed then, pretty much, I think. Let's see exactly what we're working with. By the looks of it, they've done most of these conveyors. I might need to put another cheeky ladder here so they can get into the corner. I might need to deconstruct some of these tiles as well. It's a bit of a bastard. I should have done all this first and then built around it. Can you explain what the point of the heavy watt wire is? Is it just to tie all your power together? It's basically because the normal conductive wire has a maximum of 2 kilowatts draw at any point. So if you go above 2 kilowatts, you run the risk of your wires overheating, overcharging and breaking. So the heavy watt wire I use for holding all of my power generation. So all of my power gens, my coal gens, my manual gens, hydrogen gens, everything. It's all on this main heavy watt wire, okay? Then on my heavy watt wire, on that same generation circuit, I've got a few batteries, and these batteries are all connected to automation to do different things, or most of them are anyway. There's 2 that aren't at the minute, but I never know what I might need for the future. All of these batteries are controlling different parts of my power grid. So this smart battery is controlling my hydrogen gens. This one over here is controlling my coal gens. And when they're green, they're basically using, you know, they're generating power for me basically. So it's a way of controlling what fuels are getting used first, so that I can allow my hydrogen to build up, or my coal to build up, or whatever resource I've got loads of. I can tweak the settings on my battery and then use more of that resource. So like natural gas is my primary because I've got shitloads of natural gas. And you can see that based on the parameters that I've set. So if my battery charge goes below 50%, then they kick on and run till it's 90% full. See what I mean? So that's the main battery bank. Then off the main battery bank, I then run my heavy watt wire to my transformers. And then each transformer is connected directly to these main batteries, okay? Each transformer then on the other end of its circuit has its own battery, just the one. And that allows you to get the maximum of, I think it's 5 kilowatts now, that these transformers can deliver, right? Although it says 1,000 joules, that's actually 5 kilowatts, so I've been told. I thought it was 4 kilowatts, but apparently they changed it a couple of patches back to 5 kilowatts now. A guy on the forums, R9, he pointed that out to me. There used to be 4 ticks to a second. This might be getting a bit complicated if you don't care about this stuff, but there used to be 4 ticks to a second in the game. Now there are 5 ticks to a second, right? So because this is delivering 1,000 joules, what it basically equates to is 5 times 1,000 watts per second, which is 5 kilowatts a second. So a transformer can actually output more than 2 kilowatts. One transformer can, which is why you have a battery on the line. So if you do have a big spike in power drain, your battery can accommodate it, basically. So yeah, that's basically how I do my power grids. And then off each of these circuits, I can potentially do a maximum of sort of 2 kilowatts. Some of these are a little bit under. Some of them, like this one here, is a little bit over, but it's probably got an intermittent user on the end. So like a pump that won't be active when the other pump's active or something like that. But yeah, it just gives you lots of power then, basically. Don't know what this wire is here. What's this one? This middle wire, is this... Wait, what? 1820. Oh, it is working now. Okay. Pleekus, good evening, buddy. How's it going? How are you, mate? Wickman thinks I do care. Okay, underwear. Cool. Well, yeah. Basically, I think what it was, they increased the speed of the simulation. What I'm led to believe is they increased the speed of the simulation by 20% a couple of patches ago, which basically changed it from 4 ticks a second to 5 ticks a second, which did actually change a few things within the game. I was having this weird bug with liquid pumps a few streams back, I don't know if you remember. This is actually why the pump is drawing liquid faster than the liquid could replenish the tiles, which has now been hotfixed. I couldn't understand why it was happening. It was a bug that I couldn't get my head around, but it's now been fixed. But it was plaguing me for a while. We had like this weird beehive effect. It was like a black and yellow in our pipes because the pumps were drawing liquids they shouldn't have been. It's very confusing. But yeah, it's apparently a stealth change that Clay didn't go into much detail about, so most people missed it, me included. I didn't know it happened. But yeah, there we go. Delicious. we're currently sat on loads of berry sludge and fried mushrooms. We're alright for food. We've got 1.2 million calories, but that is including our raw mushrooms and raw bristleberries. Berry sludge itself, although it says I've only got 30, 30 berry sludge is a lot. Let's just cancel these sweeps. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can see we've only got like a few kilos of berry sludge in these compactors, but that is a lot of calories. A lot of calories. I think if we go on edible, maybe? We've actually got 130,000 calories just of berry sludge, even though it's only like 30 packets, so yeah. So cool, I've not gotten that far yet, but I've gotten to plastic. Flower Ruby, welcome to the stream, how's it going? Are you a new player to the game, or have you just recently purchased it, or what's the deal? Okay, we've caught these slicksters down here, so let's make sure we get this mopped up now. Let's get this mopped quickly. And then we've got our access to magma down here now. We'll start playing with magma soon. I'll just finish off getting this shit tidied up as well, as we keep dropping little packets of oil down here, which is doing my head in. Yeah, I might just lower these for a second and get this done first. Oh, thank you, Underwear. Thank you, buddy. I played it for a while, but sometimes I keep dying. Oh, don't worry, Ruby. Just keep playing. Every time you die, you'll learn something. That's the best way to learn. Okay, I think we've got most of the stuff that we wanted from in here. I don't think there's much other stuff. There's a little bit of wolframite, but I'm hoping I won't need to scraggle around for that. So, let's get you done, and then there should be no more oil dropping down here. We'll give you a little mop. And we'll make all this a 7 again. Beautiful. I just got the game. I'm watching streamers to get idea. Jackie of all trades. What a name. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Well, what are you guys struggling with? What have you found? Because I've said for a while now, I don't envy new players to the game anymore. I've played this game since since the very start of release, really, since it was first announced. And it was a much easier game back then. So I don't envy new players, because you've got an awful lot to take on board now. There's an awful lot more to the game. So what have you been struggling with? What have you found has been the biggest problem for you? Out of interest. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of these things. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. I'm going to extend this platform over. That's how you met this chap. Oh, Dommy. I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad you joined us. Okay, so I want to expand this and get a few more exosuits down here. I think I might need to rebuild the exosuit forage, though. I think I've destroyed it. I've got a feeling I got rid of it. So we'll see. We've run out of food very easy. Yeah, I must be honest, food in this latest update, or in the current update, is a little bit tricky, because obviously we run out of dirt for our mealwoods and things, which are the easiest early game foods. Biggest tip I can probably give you is get to slime as soon as you can and start getting some mushrooms. Mushrooms give you an awful lot of calories for the amount of effort they take. So that'd be a really good suggestion, really. Get your mushroom farm going as soon as you can. Oh my god, what are those things? The purple blobs. These are slicksters. They're very loud. They eat carbon dioxide. Let's see if we can focus on one. They eat carbon dioxide and poop out oil. As you can see, they float around. They float around, eat some fruit, eat some carbon dioxide, and then when they're quite full, they do a little poop. You can probably see the poop a bit better around the thermal overlay. Poop. So yeah. Your mic audio is a little low relative to the game. It's because I've been playing a little bit single player. Let me turn the audio down a little bit. Let me know if that's a bit better, Ned. Cheers, nerd. Thank you. I love them. I want a plushie of them. Funnily enough, I've been trying to get my mum to start making some plushies of the game. My mum is like a fucking legend when it comes to crafting stuff, like crochet and knitting and stuff like that. I've been asking her to make some plushies of like puffs, morbs, hatches, slicksters, things like that. But she keeps telling me nobody would want them. So you'll have to let me know. If you actually want one, I'll get one made. I will get one made for you. You can purchase it from my mother. She's very good at that sort of stuff. I so would buy one. That's what I've been telling her. I've been telling her to get them on Etsy or something. You know, like it's Etsy, the crafting site, isn't it? I've been telling her to get some made. She's really good at that stuff. At the minute, she's been making hats and stuff, hasn't she? And hats and gloves. She has actually got an Etsy channel, but she's new to it. Look at me pimping out my mum down there. Oh my god.
Well, you need to because she doesn't believe anyone will want it, but they will.
A puff plush would be adorable, exactly. I'm thinking puffs and morbs and hatches and, yeah, slicksters. But of course, I think there's probably red tape with clay, like, what do you call it? Creative rights, whatever it is. What's the word for it? Like ownership of intellectual property rights, or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, so.
Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend this oxygen pipe first. I'm going to put in another 2 suits down here so we can start getting some more dupes active down here. I'm also going to extend the power. I just want to get all this stuff done. Ooh, how much is on this circuit? I want to get all this done before I remove this checkpoint. I don't know if I've still got a forge. I think I deleted it. But we could get rid of this, I suppose, and trade it out. I don't think we need any more snazzy suits, so we'll get rid of this. You're gonna work while lurk while you work on the robot. No worries, underwear. Good to see you again, buddy. I'm glad everything's going well. Give me a shout if you see anything you don't know what it is. Not hatches. I hate those bitches. You hate hatches. They're my favourites. Why do you hate hatches? They're so cute. Nom 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 nom. They're my favourites. Oh, Dommy, you've wounded me with that. How can you not like hatches? They're so useful and big old buck teeth. Where are they? Nom 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 nom. And they make us coal. Well, at the moment they make us coal. For how long, I don't quite know. In the new update, just so you all know, all the critters have been nerfed massively. So like this setup we've got here at the minute with like 9 hatches, you won't be able to do that in the new update. There's like an overcrowded debuff and they only produce a tiny amount a day, and they've nerfed animals really badly in the ranching update, which I don't really get. Which sucks a little bit, but hatches are so cute. Ow! They make all little cute noises. They never eat what I want. They bite my dupes while they're digging. Fair enough. They are aggressive, but only if you disturb them. Back in the day when the game first came out, there was a bug with hatches where they could eat your dupes whilst they slept. Yeah, that bug got hotfixed pretty quickly. But that was a very real bug. Right, how are we getting on up here? We are nearly there. I think I'm going to have to rip out this tile so we can get to this. I tried to trap them in places, but they escape sometimes. Just use pneumatic airlocks. Pneumatic airlocks are the easiest way to trap your hatches. They just fall straight into them. I mean, we do actually have traps now, but before plastic, you can just use pneumatic airlocks. So like how we've got them trapped here. They can't escape this, but they can jump into it and fall in. That's horror movie material gold. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? Nom, 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 nom. Okay. We were going to run power up here, weren't we? I forgot. I'll run some power off this line. Yeah, we've got 1440 on at the minute. That should be fine. We'll just run it across here, maybe. I don't think we've got any other power lines nearby. Raxika, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How the devil are you? The hatch is eating dupes while they're sleeping. Oh, okay. Yeah, they'd walk up. If a hatch was in a cot nearby, they'd just nom 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 nom, and your dupe was gone. That was it. They just ate it. Done. No more dupe. There was no death animation or anything. It was just they ate them, and they disappeared from the game, and that was it. Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm just waiting on them doing this now. I'm also trying to get some more suits and stuff made. We're going to need 2 more suits, aren't we? We'll do this with a high priority. Should be wired up. Fujiko Fox, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Did they at least poop coal? Funnily enough, I don't think they did. They ate the dupe, but it didn't register as like mass. They just eat them. Like the Boogeyman, but worse. Yeah. It's going somewhere. Oh, welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Right, a couple more of these suits. We'll get our... Once they're made, we'll extend this over a little bit. So we'll need another checkpoint there. And this will need power. And then we'll get rid of this checkpoint. And then we'll put 2 more docks in. The only problem I'm going to have is my dupe's going to start working down here if I don't do this quickly. So, kind of need to get this done. Come on! Before night time, come on! Get this next one in. Very good. Right, get an extra suit down here. Now we've got 4 dupes that can potentially come down here, which is pretty sweet. So the next thing I'm going to want to do, the low priority, is get all this crap swept up. A lot of this is oil, which they can just deliver straight to here and pump into this side, which is fine. Get all this crap swept up as well. What's happening here? We'll get all this going as well. Dig out you. We'll leave these ladders. Dig out all you. Looks like they added a new patch to preview. Critters start wild now and convert. Yeah, you have to groom them so many times, XP. It caused an uproar on the forums yesterday. Okay, so I don't want to talk too much about the pre-release because at the moment it's very, very convoluted and very, honestly, I think a bit misguided at the minute. But they made it so that animals start wild, all right? Critters start wild. And they also die if they run out of calories, okay? Now, in order to make them a domestic creature, you have to have them in a grooming station. I think it's 3 or 5 times you have to groom them. And also, you have to groom them regularly, otherwise they lose their happiness bonus. It diminishes, right? So you do literally have to domesticate your animals, which is fine. I can get behind that. The only problem is, with the patch that they've introduced, wild animals run the risk of dying if you don't rescue them quickly enough. And the problem with that is, early game, puffs, for example, it's very difficult to wrangle puffs in the early game. Until you get plastic and you can actually lure them a lot easier, it's very difficult to wrangle them. So having them being able to be fed and captured without dying in the wild, I think is going to be a nightmare. So again, it's another reason why I'm not playing any of the pre-release at the minute. I've played a little bit single player, but I've refused to stream it because it's just shit. honestly. So I'm waiting for Clay to either revert some of the changes or tweak some of the changes, or because I don't want to be streaming it and showing people a really shit patch. Truth be honest, I don't think they're there in the wild. They do XP. We've been talking about it on the forums, mate. Yeah. Can't get dupes to put away food. That's a lot of work. That's what I was thinking. For some reason I can't manage exosuit checkpoints really well. My dupes keep leaving their suits on the floor and it's confusing for me. What's going on here? Oh, it's not been hooked up. Oh, we're filling this one first. There's not really much to confuse really, dummy. I have it so that I've only got one access point to an area. My checkpoint is basically an arrow to the direction where they're running through, and then they'll always remove their suit, and you know, you just need to make sure you've only got one access point. Yeah, we need this to back up a little bit, and then this last one will start getting some oxygen. Who's mastered what? Meep has mastered the senior architect job. Oh, really? Maybe we should start getting some more exosuit dudes. Who can actually do this? Otto? Trivaldo? Trivaldo's our electrical engineer. Honestly, I think I want Trivaldo doing this. 11 is another exosuit dude, so we get the movement bonus and stuff. They'll run a lot quicker, dig a lot more. I don't think domesticating beefaloes is worth it, so I don't think I'll be using that feature much. Oh, you mean with the hairbrush and stuff? Yeah, I never really got to doing that. I never really bothered. I know you have to like... I know it gives you like a movement speed thing and you can run around on them and use them as like a mount, but I never really bothered. I think it was because you had to brush its hair so many times and stuff. Your jeep's just passed through the checkpoint and left the suits on the station, right? Mine leave them on the floor, so I have to sweep them. That's weird. Leave them on the floor. What update are you on, Dommy? Are you on the current update? Like, are you on the same build as me up here, or are you on an older version? Because on the older versions, they used to drop their suits all the time. So, like, if you've not upgraded, for example, that might explain it. Okay. It looks like we're pretty much done up here now. Let's get this sealed up quickly. Probably need to knock this out so we can get to this middle bit. But other than that, this seems to be a loop. Just these last two bits need doing. It's mostly hydrogen in here. I do need to get every gas out of this room, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. A little bit of a pain in the ass. But I could just put a pump on like this corner maybe. A bit of a jerk. I need this to be a vacuum so I can only pump hydrogen in. If I have like a few blobs of chlorine or CO2 in here, it can just totally fuck the build, so I need to make sure it's right. I don't know if it's a bug from screwing up. Domesticating beefalo is only useful if you're hunting koala elephants or carrying marble statues. I see. I'm upgraded, I'll try again. Yeah, I need to play some more Don't Starve soon. I enjoyed that game a lot. It's good fun. Let us slap in a pump. Yeah, let's slap in a pump. We should have power nearby. We've got gas pipe here. Slap down a high pressure vent here. It shouldn't take long to vacuum out this room, to be honest. But I do want it with a bit of automation. So let's put an Atmos sensor in here. And a bit of wire.